Wouldn't you know it, I recorded all of this and then my sound didn't work. So I'm going to just kind of repeat over this as this video plays and then edit out what I need to. And in this assignment, what we're doing is looking at if light therapy, or considering if light therapy can alleviate depression. And in order to do this for this study, there were 3 groups. One group was the control group, so they got no light therapy. And after a month, they rated their mood using a specific scale called the Acme Mood Scale. Another group, group 2, got therapy for an hour every other day. And then at the end of the month, they also rated their scale using their mood using the same scale. Group 3 got light therapy every day. So we would just run an ANCOVA if we were just wanting to look at how light therapy affected their mood. But we also want to consider if possibly the age of the participants mattered in this. So we wanted to consider a covariance, and that covariance in this case was the age of the participants. So in order to do that, we run an ANCOVA, an analysis of covariance. So here we have our data. We have our different groups and their moods as they rated them after the month was over. Now it is a little confusing to me because it seems like it matters what their moods were first before the month started and then afterward, because different people could rank their moods differently. But we're just going to go with the data that we have here and consider their moods after a month. And also the covariance we're considering is their ages, so that ages have been paired there with mood. So to run the ANCOVA, which we're going to do, we'll go to General Linear Model, Univariate, and the mood is going to be the dependent variable because we want to see if the mood depends on the group, which is the fixed factor. But again, we want to enter age as a covariant to see if that is impacting, or to make sure it's not impacting. So we're going to look at our model and make sure that we have everything checked right, full factorial. And then we're going to go to the EM means and display the means for the group and compare main effects using the Bonferroni. The last thing we want to do under options is say that we're going to be running a homogeneity test, or we want to run a homogeneity test, but we also want to estimate the effect size to see how much of an effect there is. So now we're going to go ahead and run this test. And I see here that there's 80 participants from each group, so that's pretty even there. Of course, on our Levine's test, we've got we're good. We've got no significant problem there. And so I'm going to come down here and look at my group on the test of between subjects effects. Look at my group, and I see that the significance factor is 0.008. That is that means we're going to reject the null hypothesis that there is no difference in light therapy and assume that there is a difference in light therapy. Now I can come over here beside that and see that my effect size for this is 0.04, and we'll talk about what that means in a minute. But first, let's scroll down and let's see where the difference in mood scores was. So for instance, we have 3 groups. So we want to see where the significant difference lies. So when I look at my no light therapy here, I can scroll over and see that my significance factor is 0.063. But that does not show a significant difference between no light therapy and light therapy on even days, so every other day. So there's really not a significant difference between those groups. However, there is a significant difference of 0.009 of the people that received no light therapy versus the one that received light therapy every day. Since that's less than 0.05, I am rejecting the null hypothesis. I accepted it on the no light therapy versus light therapy for even days. The only other thing I might want to consider is the light therapy even days compared with the light therapy every day. And if I go over and see the significance factor, it is 1. So that is, not below 0.05, of course. And so we accept a null hypothesis and say there was no significant difference. Again, we can look at the partial ETA or ETA. I'm not exactly sure how to say that. So if I just look at my effect size only, that is not a direct correspondent to effect size, because I would really need to have, 0.2 would be a small effect, 0.4 a medium effect, and 0.6 a large effect. So that 0.4 is kind of what they're calling the hinge point here. And of course, what I saw was 0.04. So that was kind of confusing for me at first. This scale right here, which is specifically telling me about my partial eta squared, or ETA squared. Forgive me, I didn't hear how to say it. And then this factor, a 0.01 would be a small effect size, a 0.06 is a medium, and 0.14 or higher would be large, but I don't need to worry about that because mine is in there between the 0.01 and 0.05. It was 0.04. So that would be a small to medium effect size, meaning a small to medium difference in terms of the moods of people who, in the case of our study, received no light therapy versus light therapy for 1 month every single day.